Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next copy of our Aspire for Agriculture test series. So we all know that we had our Aspire for Agriculture test series and we have discussed up till test 8 of this series, and today we will be discussing test 9. So till test 8 there were sectional tests, and from test 9 to 14 we will have full test, and test 9 was the full test of paper 1 as it is mentioned here. So we will discuss it, and today we will discuss the section A of test 9, and tomorrow we will discuss the section B of test 9. So we will see how what were the questions asked and how this student has approached the answer, and this thing will help you to understand various things. You will learn how to introduce, how to conclude. You can learn from the mistakes of these students, and overall you will get an idea about the structure of the answers. And for that I must let you know that I will be not reading the answers line by line. I will be just giving you a brief idea of the structure. I will discuss some important points. So that will, because if I will start reading all the answers line by line, it will take a lot of time. So I don't want to do that. I will be just giving you a brief idea, and if you want to read the answers, you can simply pause the video whenever you want to and read the answers. The copies are in present of you, so that could be helpful to you. So let's start the discussion. So the first question is, how can agriculture diversification and intensification help in doubling farmers' income? So first of all, you can see that in introduction, a student has uh, defined agriculture diversification, that is described as the practice of increasing the variety of crops or activities in the farm. That is simply, you can say that suppose we are planting two crops right now, so we will diversify it to three crops, four crops. Suppose we are doing monocropping in all the three seasons, similar crops, so we will diversify it to three crops. With crops, we could also diversify it towards agroforestry. We can diversify towards horticulture. So all these things comes into agriculture diversification. How it can increase farmers income? Obviously it will reduce risk, it will generate employment. Obviously, by creating, examples have been mentioned, for example, for yielding transplanting of different crops, more labors are required. And what happens here, in diversified, all these things can be required, because can be reduced, because we can uh, get yes, for weeding. And because in diversified we will have various types of crops, various types of income, we will get high income, so various types of labor will be also employed. So it will generate employment, it will increase production, obviously it will increase profit. So all these things I have discussed various times in classes. So if you want to read these things or understand the concepts of these things, you can refer the classes, or refer the answer writing series. All these questions have been discussed there. For this we will just discuss the structures. Now, after agriculture diversification, agriculture intensification have been mentioned separately. How it can lead to mechanization, agrochemicals, new technologies, getting good return of the crops, contract farming. So, fairly written points. You can simply pause and read the answers if you want to. The next question is, discuss the role of remote sensing and GIS in agriculture. So, this question have been asked several times previously, and it is one of the very important question for agriculture option. The student has first of all defined remote sensing. You can read the definition. We all know that remote means that is something which is not in touch. So we are sensing from some objects which are not in the touch with the ground. We are sensing from some satellites, some drones, some photos. So that is what remote sensing is. Now, how can be remote sensing used in agriculture? For crop health, crop yield, land use? So all these things have been fairly mentioned. Soil health, crop growth, irrigation management. Now GIS have been mentioned: crop monitoring, soil conservation, water resource management, land use planning, biodiversity conservation, disaster risk management, insect pest control, land records. The fairly written points. And all these things have been, first year this has been made, and all these things have been then explained. So you should keep in mind that is a 10 marker question. So time managing is also important. I think 7 to 8 minutes for this answer will be enough. So whenever you write answers, try to write in the scheduled time. Giving too much time will be not beneficial to you. In the end, you will face shortage of time. Now the next question is, discuss the post harvest management and value addition in maize. So basically about maize have been written in introduction, that is you see for plant, kharif or rabi season, all these things have been mentioned. Now post-harvest management has been mentioned. We have to first remove kernels, we have to clean, we have to dry, we have to store, we have to do quality checks, pest controls, all these things will come in post-harvest management. And in value addition, we can do canning, we can do various kind of food, can be produced, food processing, that is roasted kernels, puffed corn, corn flakes, corn flour, corn syrups, all these things are there. Animal food, it can be used for fodder. So all these things have been also well written. Biofuels, bioplastics, so very well written points. Many times many students do not touch these aspects, but when you touch these aspects, it makes your answer more enhanced. So well written points. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss the ways to enhance nitrogen use efficiency in transplanted rice. So how can we enhance the nitrogen use efficiency? So rice is transplanted through system of rice intensification. The introduction, it is simply written about transplanted rice, and direct seeded rice has been also mentioned, that how it is different from transplanted rice. You can mention that. Ways to enhance nitrogen use efficiency. Obviously, we have to do soil testing. We can do balanced fertilizer use. We can do slow release fertilizer, for example, neem coated urea, sulfur coated urea, we all know it. Cover crops can be used, legumes can be used, phosphatic efficiency can be increased. So all these things have been mentioned. Biofertilizers can be used. You can simply pause and read the answers if you want to. 10 points have been mentioned. So very good. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss about various techniques which can help in evaluating soil fertility. So in the introduction, the student has defined soil fertility, that it is the inherent capacity of the soil to sustain agriculture, plant growth, and optimize the crop yield. Okay, we all know that obviously without soil fertility, agriculture is not possible. Various techniques have been mentioned to evaluate soil fertility, such as we can do soil analysis, plant analysis, field test, visual observations can be done, digital soil testing, optical sequencing technologies, the bulletin points. Now the next question is, what is global warming? Discuss its causes and also discuss various strategies which India took to mitigate it. So I think this is a very relevant question, and this is not a question that only agriculture optional students should do. It is a kind of environment question, and I think most of the students, if you are serious as UPSC aspirant, you would have easily tackled this question. So we all know what global warming is, that is gradual increase in the Earth's temperature due to some emission and other things. Causes have been mentioned: deforestation, burning fossil fuels, agriculture emissions. So all these things you all know it. I will not take too much time. Now mitigation strategies have been mentioned. That is ethanol blending of petrol. That is 20%. Currently it is okay. E20, E10 should be mentioned. Yeah, the student has mentioned about 10%. So I think that could be avoided because 222 is not the latest one. Go for this one till 2025. We are living in 2025. Reducing carbon emissions, reducing carbon intensity. So bulletin points. You can simply pause and read it. Various schemes have been mentioned. Various targets have been mentioned. PME drive scheme can be mentioned here instead of electric vehicles, because this PME drive schemes promotes electric vehicles. So bulletin points. You can simply pause and read it. We all know these things. The next question is, differentiate between direct seeded rice and SRI, that is system of rice intensification, and also write package of practices of any one of them. So we can write package of practices of either SRI or other DSR, that is direct seeded rice. So what is the difference? First of all, we will see. So the student has mentioned the difference in paragraph form, but I will always suggest you in previous videos, I have also suggested you that you should go for this table format because it is easier for the examiner, and I think I would personally opt for this format. I am not saying that this format is wrong, but this is my personal choice, and I will also suggest you to go for this format only. Okay. So first of all, about SRI have been mentioned. What soil we can use, what seed quality can be used. You can simply pause and read it. Weed management. So actually, the weed management is more difficult in DSR because here lot of weeds grow, and here as we do puddling and other things, weed is less. So you can simply pause and read it. Okay, actually, he has mentioned same things. Okay, so DSR it is difficult. Spacing have been mentioned. Uniform spacing have to be maintained in SRI but absent in DSR. So well, at 10 points you can simply pause and read it. Now I am giving you time to pause and read. Now the student has mentioned about the package of practices of SRI method. So obviously all the things have been mentioned well, main field preparation, transplanting. So written points you can simply pause and read it. I don't think I should go that much in package of practices. I have mentioned the package of package of practices of rice several times in videos, so you can refer them for conceptual clarity. Here you can read if you want to. The student has written good only. You can see how good he has concluded, he or she has concluded about BGREI, that is bringing green revolution to Eastern India, because we all know that time green revolution was mostly into Western India. So all these things have been well mentioned, and that is very good conclusion. Now the next question is, how do herbicides control weed selectivity, and write down the classification of herbicides with suitable examples. So obviously herbicides have been defined, chemicals that are used to kill the weeds or herbs, whatever you can see. Selectivity of herbicides have been mentioned. Okay, it is physical selectivity, chemical, biological, yeah, all these things have been well mentioned. Okay, now based on action and mode of action, it has been mentioned, contact of systemic. Based on time of application, it has been mentioned, and on selectivity, cell non-selective, unselective, that has been mentioned. So well, good examples and points, you can simply pause and read it. Very broadly student has written. I think the question was to write down the classification of herbicides also. Okay, so he has written all the classifications, but 2 3 classifications would have been enough, but it's okay if you know, you can, if you have time you can write it. And you can see how much examples have been written. I was very much in doubt that in real time all these examples would make you a little difficult to write, but still you can manage. I am not saying that you can't manage, but I think instead of writing very examples, try to write only 2 3 chemical examples, because that will save your time. The next question is, discuss about various types of problematic soils along with their reclamation. So basically we all know what problematic soils is. Either it could be acidic, it could be some other types of problems in the soil, it could be highly basic, there could be some fertility problems. So all these are problematic soils, such as saline soil, sodic soil, saline sodic soil. These are the major types we all know. And the difference table has been mentioned, you can see it. Now reclamation has been mentioned. For saline soil, we can do leaching, obviously to leach the excess salts, subsurface drainage, adding gypsum, so written points. Planting tolerant crops, planting salt tolerant crops, obviously same points. Sodic soils have been mentioned, then saline sodic soils have been mentioned, so very well written points. And you can see how good it is, only single lines, very crisp and very good, well written. Acid soils have been mentioned, then sulfate soils have been mentioned, so good one only. Now the next question is, why do we consider soil structure as an important soil property for crop production? How is soil structure changed by various factors? Obviously, soil structure is an important factor. In the introduction part, the student has defined soil structure, that is the arrangement of soil particles and pore spaces. Obviously, good definition. Importance have been mentioned for drainage, air and water requirement, nutrient availability. So all these things depend on soil structure. And factors affecting soil structure, obviously climate, organic matter, biological activity, weathering, tillage, compaction, soil structure, packaging density, all these factors affect soil structure. So you all know it. The next question was, discuss about various government policies promoting agroforestry. So we all know what agroforestry is, that is agriculture plus forestry, when both are grown simultaneously in the same area, that is agroforestry. Now importance have been mentioned, but these things can be avoided, because in the question first of all it is a 10 marker. If it was a 20 marker, you can touch other areas, but for 10 marker you should directly go to government policies. What are the government policies? I have mentioned that also. So you can see in government policies also, this one is written too much in national agroforestry policy, then submission on agroforestry policy. Then what he had done, very little bit of things have been written in all these things. Okay. So what can be done whenever you write this? I'm not saying this is wrong, but try to give equal emphasis on all policies. If you written 2 points here, write 2 points in all the policies. So that uniformity in your answer looks good. Okay, that will impress examiner. Sometimes you have written 5 6 points, which you know the examiner will have a understanding that you are knowing too much about this point and you are knowing little about this point. Okay, so that you should keep in mind. So that is what it is, and again good conclusion, writing about Niti Ayog's initiatives. So that is very good. And I think overall the copy was very good, which we have seen just now. A good marks had been obviously got into this copy. So this was section A of this test 9. In the next video, or then we will discuss this section B of test 9. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button. Please do share and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you regular basis. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. That is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.